Well, I'm so angry at the carnage that's taken place on the Gaza Strip by the brutal and vicious Israeli government, and what's happening to the civilians of the Gaza Strip, which is one big prison camp. And people have been starved out over there. They've had the medicine stopped, they've had the fuel stopped, and this has been going on for a long, long time. And the people there are resisting this oppression, and we owe it to them to stand by them in this terrible slaughter that's taking place there. I think the media really never strays far off official British foreign policy. Unfortunately, the media in this country never spotted the fact that Saddam Hussein never had any weapons of mass destruction. In fact, they supported the claims of the government instead of doing their job and exposing the lies of the government. And it's the same thing here over what's happening on the Gaza Strip today. The simple fact is, you have some of the poorest people in the world herded there. Herded in can only be called a concentration camp on a small strip of land, just on the other side of where they used to live. And then they say that these people are sending rockets into Israel. They're sending rockets into the communities where they were driven from in the first place. And they've got every right to fight back and every right to resist the occupation.
My name's Pia. I live in Manchester and I'm a member of Palestine Solidarity Campaign, but I'm here to stand with the Palestinians, particularly the Palestinians in Gaza, and with the people who are protesting against the Israeli bombing and attempted destruction of the people in Gaza, who are protesting all over the world. I've just come back from Spain and there are protests in lots of capital cities in Spain. There have been protests all over the Arab world, and I hope there's protests all over Britain. I don't know what's happened, but I've come here at this time and I've brought a Jewish yahrzeit lamp, which is a commemoration lamp for people who have died. And I want to say that I think it's absolutely terrible what the Israelis have done, but I also think it's terrible what the British government have not done. They, along with America and all the countries of Europe, the governments of Europe, have just sat on their hands and allowed Israel to do their dirty work for them. Thank you.
My name's Farah Ayub, and I saw this headline in the papers a couple of days ago in Independent, and I'm surprised that the world is sitting back and watching in silence basically, and nobody is actually speaking out. There's so many world leaders out there and they've got very little words to say, and I think they should all stand up and make some noise and have sort something out basically, get something going. Even, you know, the peace process should be talking, sitting together on the table and discussing matters, not just killing innocent people. I mean, what these 4 or 5 girls, what have they done to anybody? Nothing. They were innocent and nobody's got to say anything about it. Their main purpose is to eradicate the whole of the Palestinians, because if that doesn't happen, you know, the story in the Bible is not going to come about, is it? So their idea is if we just eradicate all the Muslims, and then things will go as they should have gone.
Free, free! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Palestine!
We're here outside the BBC in Manchester, offering solidarity to the people of Gaza, who are being bombed as we speak by the Israeli Air Force, who are armed with the latest weapons supplied by America. This is nothing less than another massacre. It follows from Deir Yassin in 1948, from the massacre of Sabra and Shatila in Lebanon in the 1980s, today it's Gaza. But the difference today is that in every city in England and in every city in Britain and all across Europe and across the world, there are people demonstrating against this barbarity and in support of the Palestinian people and their struggle. Our three demands are very simple. We say stop the bombing and stop the killing from the Israeli army and air force. We say end this siege now. It's a siege that could see thousands of people die from disease and from malnutrition and from the spreading of horrible things if the gasoline is not there anymore, so that they don't have any pumping of the sewage. And the third demand that we have is that our British government stops giving political, financial and diplomatic support and giving excuses to Israel. They should break links now, they should bring our ambassador back, and they should say we won't have anything to do with Israel until this killing stops. Thank you.
Okay, I'm a fireman, my name's Muzz, and I just want to say one thing. I don't think anything has ever affected me in my job when it comes to seeing dead people, people in fires, people in road traffic accidents, more than what I'm seeing on the news at the moment in Palestine. And I just think it's a genocide, and the actual history of it, you know, that's something to look up as well and get involved in researching and seeing what the history is of Gaza and what's happened. It's a illegal occupation. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing, and especially dropping bombs on people who cannot defend themselves, who have no food, no water, no electricity, no gas supplies, to do something about this. So if you can, make some change and stop what's going on. Thank you.
Right, okay. Hello, this is Dr. Aziz from Muslim Association of Britain. Open letter to the Prime Minister on Gaza. While Gaza mourns its dead, the deafening silence of our Prime Minister and government is a source of great bewilderment. It is not time for a firm intervention that brings relief to the thousands of injured people. Right Honourable Gordon Brown, MP, Prime Minister. Dear Prime Minister, the illegal and inhumane bombardment of Gaza Strip by Israeli forces has shocked all of us. The images beamed around the globe show the horror of death and destruction unleashed against an occupied people. Contrary to all humanitarian standards, the mass outrage expressed on the streets of Britain is yet to be reflected in the actions of our government, and this is not acceptable. While Gaza mourns its dead, the deafening silence of our Prime Minister and government is a source of a great bewilderment. It is not time for a firm intervention that brings relief to the thousands of injured. We can only imagine conditions in the beleaguered hospitals where the most basic medicines were exhausted before the attacks because of inhumane blockade imposed on 1.5 million inhabitants of the Strip of Gaza. Since 2006, humanitarian conditions have deteriorated to unprecedented levels. Parents have watched their babies die. 600,000 children now suffer from post-traumatic disorder as a result of Israeli state terror and international sanctions. It's time to stop this brutality and allow the Palestinian people to live in peace and dignity. A week ago, it was notable how you rightly rushed to Islamabad and New Delhi in the wake of the Mumbai attacks in order to calm all parties, avert escalation and further bloodshed. One wonders if you intend to visit Tel Aviv and make clear to the Israeli leadership that nothing can excuse nor justify targeting charities, hospitals, medical centers, pharmacies, mosques, universities, causing maximum casualties. Will you then proceed to Gaza and console the orphans and console widows of this brutal campaign? Prime Minister, this is your hour with history, and we urge you to take the first step. We expect nothing less of our government than an unequivocal condemnation of Israel's actions, as it has condemned similar brutalities committed by various states around the world. We urge you to ensure: 1. An immediate end to the Israel's military assault on Gaza. 2. An immediate end to the blockade and siege of Gaza. 3. An end to Israel's violation of international law and an end to Israeli occupation and the Israel's barbaric actions. Free Palestine. And don't forget to join the national demonstration in London on the 3rd of January, as well as in Manchester. Thank you very much.